If you think $250 for a lightsaber is expensive, get ready to have your mind blown, because that's nothing. Now, don't get me wrong, $250 is a lot of money, but this lightsaber is a mere bauble for peasants compared to the luxury experiences that you'll see in this video. Hi, I'm James from Guide to WDW, and today I am talking about the most expensive things that money can buy at Disney World. While researching this video, I've learned that there's expensive and then there's expensive. From blinged out merchandise to ridiculously extravagant suites, you would need millions of dollars to purchase everything on this list. Let's get luxurious. The most expensive meal at Disney World. Disney World has some pretty pricey meals, like Be Our Guest or Space 220, but you can get a much spicier meatball than that. But not literally a meatball, because I don't think they have that on the menu at Monsieur Paul, where the prefix menu will set you back $195 per person. Or at Takumi Tei, which has an omakase menu for $250 per person. Those are the two most expensive meals at Epcot, but there is one Disney World restaurant that reigns supreme, with an even more expensive meal. Victoria and Albert's. Widely considered to be the best restaurant at Disney World, this AAA 5-diamond restaurant starts at $295 per guest for their regular tasting menu. But if you want to dine at the chef's table, that 3-hour experience is $425 per person. If you add the $200 wine pairing to it, that is the most expensive meal at Disney World at $625 per person. If you want to go into the realm of fancy drinks, you can spend a ton more money, like at Wine Bar George at Disney Springs, which offers a first growth experience, which includes a flight of 5 1-ounce pours for $700 or 2-ounce pours for $1,300. They also have a few $3,500 bottles of wine. If you're curious if you could taste the difference between that and like a nice $30 bottle of wine, you could just order the 1-ounce pour, which would set you back $150. However, I lied. There is technically an even more expensive meal. Eating at one of the Club 33 restaurants as a member. If you don't know, Club 33 is a super exclusive elite club centered around the Disney parks. It's more commonly associated with Disneyland, but Disney World has their own Club 33. There are a lot of perks, but the main benefit of membership is that you get access to 4 different lounges and restaurants at Disney World, one at each park. The food and drinks at these restaurants are typically reasonably priced for a fancy Disney restaurant, but they handily become the most expensive restaurants when you factor in the cost of membership. Disney World's Club 33 costs $33,000 to join and has a $15,000 annual fee. Now, you could eat there without paying that fee by being invited by a member or working at a company that has a corporate membership. The next item is something that feels like it should be the most expensive thing on this list because of how much value it provides, but it's actually free. And that's subscribing to the Guide to WDW YouTube channel. And if you want to see me review any of these most expensive items at Disney World, get a few million of your friends to subscribe too. Moving on to the most expensive merchandise at Disney World. If you want to spend a lot of money on merchandise, Disney World has you covered. From the $250 custom lightsaber I mentioned earlier, to the $400 Disney Castle Lego set, to Dooney and Burke bags that can run up to over $400, there are a lot of easy ways to drop cash on merch. But what if you wanted to drop a ridiculous amount of cash? Can I interest you in your very own droid? You could buy a life-sized R2-D2 for $25,000 at the Droid Depot in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and really just lord over all the 8-year-olds building their dinky plastic droids for a mere $100. I'm not sure if it's still there because in 2022, someone tried to steal a different R2-D2 replica, this one worth only $10,000, in the most Scooby-Doo way possible, by dressing up like a security guard. He just put on a high-vis vest and a name tag and tried to take R2. Agent 47, your cover's been blown. Quick, dress up like Chewbacca. That one's for the video game fans out there. But R2 doesn't even touch the bejeweled crown of the most expensive merchandise at Disney World because I haven't yet uttered the name Arribas Brothers. Arribas Brothers. Now, the Arribas brothers have a long history with Disney parks. They actually met Walt while representing Spain in the 1964 World's Fair. If you've been to Disney World or Disney Springs, you've probably seen the wide variety of glass and crystal keepsakes that Arribas Brothers offers. Some of them are pretty reasonable. But I'm not here to talk about what's reasonable, I'm here to talk about maximum bling. Like this recreation of Magic Kingdom's Cinderella Castle that will set you back almost $50,000, or this Crystal Spaceship Earth that's $79,000. But we haven't even reached the most expensive souvenir at Disney World, because for Disney World's 50th anniversary, Arribas outdid themselves and created an even grander version of Cinderella Castle that's $250,000. Yes, a Disney World souvenir that most people would need a mortgage for. But since young people are spending their money less on things and more on experiences, let's move over to the most expensive things that you could do at Disney World. In the splurges for mere mortals realm, there are the holiday parties like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween and the after hours events, which will set you back about $200 per person. One of the more unique experiences is to take a fireworks cruise to watch the Magic Kingdom or Epcot fireworks, which starts at $399 plus tax. And speaking of getting out on the water, you can actually rent a luxury yacht called the Grand One. Rentals start at $480 per hour during the day and $799 per evening. The Grand One can fit up to 18 people, or 17 if you want to hire a butler. Yes, you can ask Jeeves to come join you aboard during your voyage across the Seven Seas Lagoon if you opt for butler service, and you can add private dining as well. So you can spend a ton of money depending on how long you want to party on the water. Speaking of parties, let's talk about the most expensive party that anyone will ever throw: their wedding. You can get married at Disney World, starting at $15,000, which in the world of weddings isn't that crazy, but depending on your location, things can quickly get much pricier. Like if you wanted to get married in a location around World Showcase, that has an event minimum of $18,000 to $20,000. Getting married at Tower of Terror or Pandora the World of Avatar brings that up to $20,000 to $25,000, and if you wanted to get married inside Magic Kingdom, that will run $30,000 to $100,000 as the event minimum. But what if your dream isn't a wedding, but to skip all the lines at the parks? This next item is for you. The Disney Private VIP Tour picks you up from your hotel, takes you into the park, and lets you explore with a VIP tour guide who will show you around and take you to the front of the line for whatever ride you want. Prices range from $450 to $900 per hour depending on what time of year you go. And there's a minimum of 7 hours, so that's a minimum of $3,150 to $6,300. Theme park admission is not included in that price, and you can have a tour group of up to 10 people. If you wanted to take that tour experience to a completely different stratosphere, you could sign up for the Disney Parks Around the World Private Jet Adventure, offered by Adventures by Disney. Spanning 24 days, 6 countries, 69 meals, and 31 different stops, including all 12 Disney theme parks around the world, this ultimate Disney experience starts at just under $115,000 per person. But what about the most expensive place to stay at Disney World? You could stay club level at the Grand Floridian, let's pick a random week like Christmas, and that comes out to $5,137.83 per night. If you wanted to stay at a 3-bedroom villa, it would set you back almost $6,000 per night. But the most expensive room at Disney World is a bungalow at the Polynesian Village Resort, which costs $6,146 per night that week. If you stayed at a less busy time per year, it would only cost $3,360 per night, which, I mean, what is this, a Holiday Inn? What if you want even more luxury? Well, the Four Seasons has you covered. Their most expensive room is the Royal Suite, which costs $17,000 per night. Suddenly the bungalows don't seem too bad. I can't talk about the most expensive ways to stay at Disney World without talking about DVC, which is the Disney Vacation Club. It's Disney's version of a timeshare. You buy points that you can use at Disney resorts. It gives you more flexibility than a typical timeshare because you can use your points at any DVC location. But to join, you need to purchase real estate interest at a home resort. Joining costs anywhere from $22,000 all the way up to $65,000 depending on your home resort and how many points you'll need. Plus then there's an annual membership fee. Is it a good deal? That's a question for a different video, but is it expensive? Oh yeah. But not nearly as expensive as the next item on our list, because it is the most expensive thing that you can buy at Disney World. Not a wedding, not a crystal souvenir, not even staying an entire year at the Royal Suite in the Four Seasons costs as much as this. Although that one comes pretty close. The most expensive thing at Disney World is a house at Golden Oak, which is a neighborhood inside of Disney World, just minutes away from Magic Kingdom.
Imagine what it would be like to live just 4 miles from Magic Kingdom Park. Welcome to Golden Oak.
Compared to everything else, a house is obviously going to be the most expensive thing because it's a house. But Disney World does sell a little crystal castle the price of a house, so how expensive do these houses get? Currently, there are 3 homes listed for sale at Golden Oak, ranging from $9.65 million to $19 million. And pretty much every house that has sold there recently has been for multi-million dollars. Yes, you can live inside Disney World, but it will cost you. So if you want to start saving up for that house or any of the other items on this list, you won't want to miss this video, which includes strategies that I use to save a ton of money at Disney World. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.